With people trying to shape their bodies into physical perfection, bodybuilding has become increasingly popular throughout time. It is important to recognize that bodybuilding includes disadvantages as well as benefits, despite the goal of a muscular physique. And in today's video, we're going to be delving deep into the dark side of being a bodybuilder. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. The use of performance-enhancing substances is prevalent within the bodybuilding community. If you're a professional bodybuilder, there's no doubt that you're taking steroids. It's just the nature of the game. In 2013, a web survey was taken and results showed that among bodybuilders competing in regular amateur competitions, 76.7% reported using anabolic steroids. In the United States alone, between 3 to 4 million people use anabolic steroids, which means worldwide they make up 3.3% of steroid users globally. Majority of the time, steroids are bought through the black market, with most of the raw materials coming from China. And China has the worst quality control in the entire world. The Harvard Current newspaper published an article back in 2005 purchasing black market steroids from the internet. Internet websites from Poland, Moldova and Spain. And when they analyzed the steroids, they discovered that some of the steroids had small amounts of lead. Another steroid contained flammable liquid used in the production of plastics. We have lost a lot of goods due to steroids. An example of this is Ziz. Ziz was one of the youngest fitness influencers whose death was most likely caused due to steroid use. And Ziz sadly died at the young age of 22. However, the GOAT's legacy will forever live on. Another bodybuilder who died at a very young age is Lex Darn. Lex was a 27-year-old bodybuilder who moved to the UK from South Africa. Lex begged a doctor for testosterone treatment but was denied prescription. Lex started to become really puffy and was struggling to breathe, and 2 weeks later he was rushed to the hospital where he died. And the saddest thing about this case is that he welcomed his child 6 weeks before his death. May he rest in peace. So if you're an aspiring bodybuilder who wants to take anabolic steroids, make sure that number 1, inject in low doses and limit your use to a few weeks at a time to give your body rest. Number 2, do not inject them into your biceps, calf or pectoral muscles to avoid nerve damage. Number 3 is to always use clean needles to reduce the risk of things like HIV. And number 4 is to never combine anabolic steroids with caffeine or alcohol, which remove water from the body. Bodybuilding places immense stress on the body through intense weightlifting, high-intensity training and frequent workouts. The constant stress on the body can lead to injuries such as tendonitis, ligament damage and joint issues. Moreover, the repetitive nature of bodybuilding exercises can result in muscle imbalances, leading to poor postural problems. Ronnie suffered a serious spinal problem and also severely injured his back, shoulder, hip and neck due to heavy weightlifting. Ronnie suffered a herniated disc which was caused by persistent workouts. Ronnie underwent 2 hip replacement surgeries as well as multiple other treatments to help alleviate his pain from his damaged intervertebral disc. And because of this, Ronnie has lost a lot of his mobility. But that bodybuilders have to adhere to meticulous dietary plans to help optimize their muscle growth and reduce their body fat. And because bodybuilders' diets are so strict, it often fosters a negative relationship with food. And because a lot of bodybuilders feel like shit when they stray away from their diet, it often leads to an unhealthy obsession with their appearance. These bodybuilders can even develop eating disorders, one of them being orthorexia. For those who don't know what orthorexia is, it's an obsession with eating foods that one considers healthy. And a couple of studies have estimated that orthorexia impacts between 1 and 7% of the general population. When it came to his diet, Ronnie Coleman would go to the extreme and would consume about 5,332 calories. Ronnie's diet would consist of 65% protein, 20 to 25% carbs, and 5 to 10% fat. Having to consume that every day can be very challenging for some people, and they often quit. In an interview, Zac Efron talks about his struggles when it came to eating food.
The hardest part was eating. You just have to eat a ton of calories, and it was all hard calories. It was a lot of chicken breast. I was eating so much chicken breast that the hardest part about it was actually chewing it all. So I would just put it into a blender, blend it all up, and just drink chicken.
And even though bodybuilders train extremely hard and follow these extremely strict diets, they are often susceptible to body dysmorphia, just like us. A lot of bodybuilders perceive themselves as being small or inadequate, and they're constantly striving for this unattainable perfection. And this mindset can often lead to low self-esteem, anxiety, and depression. Can you imagine someone as big as cbum still feels skinny? I'm gonna play the clip right now.
Is a pump cover. You can go nowhere without a hoodie, because some days I feel skinny, I feel small, I don't have a pump, and I need to start my workout with a hoodie, so I make sure I always have one on backup.
It just shows that no matter how hard you train, you can never really achieve your dream physique. Having to balance training, more preps, and recovery protocols can lead you to neglect other aspects of your life, such as relationships, hobbies, and career aspirations. I was on Quora, right, and this one powerlifter named Joe was talking about how bodybuilding really affects your personal relationships, and he goes on to say that,
I've never been a competitive bodybuilder, but the answer is yes. Any serious bodybuilder will tell you that it's an inherently selfish sport. It's 24/7 in terms of commitment. You have to eat the exact right things and train more than most people would ever attempt. When I first got really into fitness, I was single. I obsessively went to the gym at least once a day, and I did cardio 4 times a week. But that wasn't where it put pressure on my ability to date. The diet did that. Go ahead and try to have a nice evening out with your woman and stick to bodybuilding food. Most women won't put up with that. I eventually decided that it was silly to restrict myself from normal human activities in the pursuit of an arbitrary goal that had no bearing on my career success. I do this for fun, not because I have to and the drugs make it worse. I briefly dated a woman who had been married to a bodybuilder. Steroids caused all sorts of issues, not the least of which was infertility.
how much you're going to be spending as a bodybuilder is going to depend on your gender, division, and the level of the show. As a bodybuilder, you're required to have an NPC card in order to register for a competition, and that NPC card has to be renewed every single year. So if you compete in December, you will have to get a new card for the following year, even if your next show is in January. An NPC card right now is $150, which converted to pounds is like £118 at the time of this recording. Now, this is not a requirement, but it's recommended to hire a coach when preparing for a show. Bodybuilding coaches cost anywhere between $100 to $500, so you can really see your bank account is looking a bit rinsed already. Now let's get into travel. The cost is going to significantly vary depending on if it's a national or regional level show, as well as how far you plan to travel and how many nights you plan to stay. It's common for a show to have a host hotel. A majority of them cost from $150 to $200 a night. Now let's talk about food. You should be expecting to spend at least $100 to $150 on food a week. 7-time Mr. Olympia winner Phil Heath said that he would spend around $20,000 just on food alone. Now if you're a guy, you don't need to be too focused on what you got to wear. You just have to choose the appropriate posing trunks for your division and you're sorted. However, if you're a girl, you can buy your suit customized or rent it. The type of suit you wear will also depend on the specific division. Heels can range from $30 to $150. The jewelry can range from $200 to $100, and hair and makeup can range from $75 to $135. We all know how important posing is when it comes to being a bodybuilder. Posing classes can range anywhere from $20 to $200. So if you're thinking about being a bodybuilder, if you do not have the funds to support this, forget about doing it. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, yeah?